So over time, I learned on the need to diversify. And I always have different liners on how I want to diversify. So the friends of mine who started by buying cars, most of them still, they have the cars. Some of them may not be in a position to go for holidays anytime they want, but I'm now in that position, and yet I still do not go, at least not as often.
And why are you buying now?
Rina, I've heard you tell people to start with 5,000 shillings or 500.
Yeah.
These days there are money markets that you can use and send 500 shillings via mobile money transfer. Yeah, so for me the time to start is now with what? With what is in your hand. Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because you have your children with you, right? Yes, yes, yes. My children are going to watch this. By force or by fire? By fire, by force.
By fire, by force.
So I want us to go back, Larry. I want us to go back. By the way, in case you're joining us for the very first time, you've not seen these videos, this is probably the third video that you're seeing. I'm sure we will. I'll talk to the team and we'll see if we can just do a whole series of this so that you can watch it in one sitting. But anyway, I want to just go back to Crawford Business Park. I had promised we would go back there.
Yes.
And so just to remind everyone, you had come to the gate, you saw this lady, she said to you, they're all taken. One of the people just says, I'm giving up one. So there was one available, and you were asked for a deposit of 2 million. Let's go continue from there.
So I'm asked for a deposit of 2 million. And the Larry that I am, I do not have 2 million. I didn't even have sufficient savings. Anyway, I think I had a little monies here and there in the...
When you say savings, you mean cash?
Yes, yes. I didn't have any cash. I had a little cash in the account just for my usual. But in my mind, I always had this dream to buy a house or to get an office space. And so I had over time tried saving in different places. One was the stock market, and I also tried leveraging the SACCO. And SACCO is a very sensitive place to save in as long as you do the right thing and you know the right SACCO. And so they needed 2 million, and I didn't have 2 million.
Sorry, let me just take you back a little, just one step back. You said you always wanted to own a house or an office. Why?
Yes, I always wanted to own a house or an office. One, for passive income, yeah, because you are employed and many times you have all these responsibilities in the family, in the society that you need to keep. And I was looking for an opportunity of having an asset that would be in my name and that would give me income that I could use to save some more and then to supplement my usual. So I looked through the market and I looked through the shares that I have, and I'm feeling so guilty, Rina, that I have to sell these
Feeling
shares.
guilty to sell, to put down the money for the...
Because I am so attached to this, the securities market. So I decided to sell. I did not sell everything. Remember, I had started early. So some of these shares, I'd bought them at 3 shillings. Some of them I'd bought them at 19 shillings. Some of them I'd bought them at 5, and now they had grown. Yeah. And I had consistently put money in the stock market. And with automation and digitalization, you know, it's now easier to monitor. And I really am grateful for the Faida tracker that I use literally every day to see how the stock market is. And so I looked through what would help me raise 2 million. I also knew I needed time to finish the payments. So with the 2 million deposit, I thought if I added to... So I looked for... I came to Faida and sold some shares and got nearly 3 million, 2.8 million. Why? Because I needed 6 million to pay for the office space at Crawford. And Faida was giving me nearly 3 million. So with that, I was able to pay 50%. And that was amazing for them, because for the next 1 year, they really didn't pressure me to finish the building. But over time, I kept saving, reduced my expenditure some more, reduced what I was saving in the stock market some more, because I wanted to raise more money for a while, and then took a bank loan to supplement, and also took a SACCO loan to supplement. And within 2 years, I had finished paying off the office space at Crawford. I'm actually regarded as the first person to have finished paying for that little space. And it started giving me rent. I had an excellent tenant who would pay me about 66,000 shillings per month. So remember, my bank
That's a
loan,
really good return.
Yeah.
That's a really good return.
Yeah, it was coming to nearly 700,000 a year. So after paying my taxes dutifully, remember where I work, remember who my employer is, I used this income at that time to help me pay off the loans that I had taken. And after I finished paying for Crawford, the money went back where it came.
The stock market.
I took it back to the stock market and continued to diversify my portfolio. Over time, government securities have also come up. There's a lot spoken on money markets. And then there are these special funds like the Oak special fund, which is very deep to me. I'll tell you why someday. And I continued with the equities market, just studying the market for the counters that are consistent, the companies that have stable management, and that are consistently paying dividends. My hope and prayer is that one day I will fully live off dividends.
This is brilliant. As you know, I've been here for 20-something years. And one of the, as time has progressed, one of the challenges with trying to get people to understand that the stock market is actually a great place to invest is that they're like, but my parents lost money, they invested in Mumias, they invested in Kenya Airways, and there's all this negativity around the stock market, and it just doesn't work. What would you have to say to someone who's wondering, Larry has done all this with the stock market, is it still somewhere I can invest?
I think the problem with life is sometimes looking at things from one angle, Rina. We have lost in so many places in life. If you have been heartbroken before in a relationship and you stood up and loved again, if you have failed in an exam and you stood up and studied again, and probably you have been broken in more than one relationships, disappointed, you loved again, and eventually you got there. Or maybe you are not there yet. Someone has failed exams and did retakes and passed. We have had fallouts with our relatives and made up. And yet when you look through life, finances remain very key, just as health. If you've fallen sick and gone to hospital and healed again, if you've had a debilitating illness and gotten out of it, if finances are the most important spheres in our life or one of them, if you are a person of faith and you have backslidden and gone back, why would you not expect failures in finances? So failures is part of life. I have invested in certain counters, some that we have mentioned, and lost in them. But the idea is to pick up, try to diversify, look through. The first thing you always need to do is be wise, talk to the experts. I am still seeking advice on the stock market. I come to you every so often, but over time you help me get a foundation where I don't have to consult in everything. Instead, I'm now going out to assist many people. So I have failed in some companies, but when you compound your wins, then the opportunity cost is much greater for what you lose than what you win. I've lost in many spaces. there is a big loss I had. I don't know if it's okay to
Yeah,
talk
please go
about
ahead.
it. At some point, there are two instances that I have lost big. One, there is a company that came online that was promising returns, 100% returns
Which company is
within
that?
30 days. There are many that have been in the
These
public
Ponzi
domain,
schemes.
the Ponzi schemes. And you know, interestingly, Rina, Ponzi schemes have been there from
They've been there forever.
1800 and
Yeah.
specifically from Ponzi, the guy
Yeah,
called Ponzi
yeah.
in 1920,
Yeah.
and we still do not learn. So a trusted friend of mine came to me and told me about this company, and you could invest 10,000, 100,000, and so on, and make money. And I told her, this is a pyramid scheme. I'm not part of it. And she said, I'm one of your best friends. I'm telling you because I've been here 1 month and I'm seeing how it works. I told her, come back to me when you make $1 million and I promise I'll join. 3 months later, she came and said, look, I've made $1 million. I said, really? Let me try with 100,000. Actually, I'll make 200,000. And I put 200,000. And I started making money, Rina. Oh my God, it was so nice. Trading in cryptocurrency, withdrawing from Bitcoins and so on. And within 3 months, indeed, I had 400,000. Then that devil, oh my God, came to me and told me, Larry, you have seen how it is working. Behold, you have a villa in Dubai. You will drive a chopper. You will ride on your own chopper. Oh my God. And I looked through. I was like, wow. Karen, here I come. Then I was like, Karen, maybe Mdaiga. Jimmy Wanjigi, I'll be your neighbor. So, you know, I didn't think it's funny, but yeah. So I'm there, you know, hoping to be the Kibaki's neighbor someday, hoping to drive a bigger car. I was like, God, I'm now settled in life. So I did my calculations and I was like, if I take 2 million from the stock market and the circle, yeah, maybe I should take 2. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
So I took money, 2 million. I wrote to your team, I sold some shares.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, if they only knew. Maybe this will change my family life, you know. All those relatives in Shags, there's a grandpa of mine, there's someone I really want to build a house for. I'm like, this
is
one,
how.
yeah, you know, I'll be looking at people buying them, you know, not just building. Now I'm buying people. You and your relatives, you are now my relative. You are now mine. And my friend encouraged me. She said, yeah, let's do it. Join me. I encouraged her. Now I'm the one encouraging her to join me. She said, you just continue, then I'll start. And so I took about 3 million actually. Wow. And changed to Bitcoins and put in this website. And they started growing, you see the following day. And I normally say, I'm actually working on a book on finances, on investments. But there's a chapter I'm writing where I'm saying, if it makes you lose sleep, then it's probably not it, the sleep test. So I would wake up in the night just to check my 3 million, 3.1, wow. Jimmy Wanjigi, here I come. Yeah. You know, and I saw it grow. Then one day, I don't know if they were waiting for me or what. At that time, my friend had gone with the team on holiday in Dubai. I even asked her, check around for me how much apartments in Dubai. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm
so sorry.
Yeah, then the money was rising. Then I said, immediately after this, once this doubles, I'll take back my investment
6
so
million.
that if I lose, I continue. I have where I started. Then one day, I logged in, and the website
Was not working.
Was not.
Okay, so
there.
this must be Beat Club Network.
Wait, no, this one was called PGI International.
My.
I think it's in the public domain. Oh my God. So they told us that no, we are upgrading our systems. I'm like, everyone is upgrading. The moment you finish upgrading, I'm upgrading my car, I'm upgrading my phone. Yeah. Then the website came back, but the withdrawal had been paused for a while. They told us, we are done with the website. You can keep bringing more money, you know, and we are done with you can see the new look website.
Oh, no.
We've upgraded the depositing one. Now it's the withdrawal one we are working on. Please add money. I looked through my circle. I said, but I hesitated a bit. I hesitated a bit, so I didn't add money.
Okay.
Yeah, then one day, the website was off. It was about 3 years ago. So the next day, I kept logging in if the website. So I checked for 2 years for the website to be back on. And one day, there was just a statement that PGI is no more, you know. And I lost. Big time.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I deserved it. And anyone who loses after this deserves it. It's the culture of wanting to get rich quickly.
It's something we all have.
Yeah.
It's a spectrum. It's greed.
Yeah, it's greed.
Yeah.
It's greed. So that was a big loss for me that I learned. The other thing is this, where trusted people let you down or mislead you, and because you want to measure up to them. So one of my friends came together with some friends with whom they were in high school and began one of these credit firms. And he came and started telling me about them, how that organization was doing well. We are lending, credit lending firms. They are lending to people and they are making money. And he really packaged it beautifully. I was like, wow. He wasn't even asking me to join. So he just packaged it. You see, I'm doing well. Last year, I earned 24% on these credit, on this particular firm. And it was packaged so well for me, and I could see how he was dressing. Previously, he just used to dress like I was. Now he has a Marks and Spencer. I also have a Marks and Spencer, but mine, instead of C, there is an S, you know, somewhere there. So he packaged it, and by the time he was done, I was like, I also want to join. Are you not looking for investors? Then he said, we have investors and shareholders, but we are not looking for any. We have enough cash.
Okay.
No, man, we are friends. We were together in high school. You cannot leave me like this. Then he said, wacha niende ni consult. We see if we can accommodate you.
Yeah.
So he went and consulted and said, we are not able to have you as a shareholder now, but you could invest. Yeah, maybe if you have $1 million shilling, bring. So I said, okay. I was seeing it working. So I think I gave 500,000 and I made 102. So I made 600. In the end, I had 602. I reinvested. And I made money actually for 3 years, which I kept reinvesting. I never withdrew. Then they asked me, by the way, do you still want to be a director? I said, yeah, of course. Then they told me, now our value has really gone up. If you want to be a director, you need
you mean a shareholder?
A shareholder. Yeah, a shareholder. You need about 2.4 million. I said, oh, really? Yeah, okay. Larry Liza. I went, withdrew money again.
Before you did all that, did you look at their accounts, their cash flows?
I leveraged trust.
Okay.
Yeah, I leveraged trust and what I could see. But sometimes what you see is not necessarily what it is. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I didn't do all that. And now I know better that it's important to ask more questions than what you see. Yeah. And I invested money. And again, I don't know if it was my money they were waiting for, because within 2 months, some of my monies were due for payment, dividend, and we were told, no, we are pausing on dividend. Somebody took us to court and all these, and the story really wasn't adding up. Yeah, and I don't know if the company still exists.
Wait, so you didn't get any of your money back?
I didn't get any of my money back.
What about the one that you were lending?
I was always
reinvesting.
And it was primarily because I didn't do due diligence. Now I know better to look at companies and look at their history. When I see something like Oak Fund, I know there is the history in Faida Investment Bank. I know Rina and team are working hard, and I'm not afraid to put my money there.
Hey, thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Thank you for being vulnerable and allowing us to just learn from your journey. I have one last question and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We have one last video, so stay tuned.